of Week 3 Sunset League high school football action. Tonight, the Los Alamitos Griffins take their 6-0-1 record on the road to match up against the Fountain Valley Barons at 3-4. Hi again, everybody. Fritz Pollard, Len Venger, John Bowles, happy to have you along as LATV proudly presents high school football. And we are at Week 3 here in high school football in the Sunset League. These two teams at a perfect 2-0 in Sunset League play. The winner of tonight's game walks out of here in sole possession of first place. Last week, the Los Alamitos Griffins had a very emotional victory, 16-12, the final score over the Aztecs of Esperanza. And Len Venger, when you look at a very emotional game like that, the one thing you have to think about if you're Coach Barnes is the letdown.
Well, that's always a possibility, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight for three reasons. First of all, the team would like to give Coach Barnes his 213th win, which would make him the winningest coach in Orange County football history. Second, a win tonight over Fountain Valley absolutely guarantees a Sunset League championship for the Los Alamitos Griffins, and that's something that they'd like to get behind them and take care of business. And finally, the Griffins would like to secure no worse than a number 2 seeding in Division I Southern Section playoffs, and the way to do that simply is to win out over Fountain Valley tonight, Marina next week, and Edison in 2 weeks. Tonight, the Griffins are going to be facing a lot of running again. Fountain Valley has twice as much yardage on the ground than in the air. One reason I think they'll do that tonight is they want to keep the clock running, they want ball control, and they like to keep that powerful Griffin offense off the field. Griffins are averaging 31 points a game. They're led by quarterback Jeff Klein. He can run, he can pass, he likes to pass the ball to Jeremy Childs and to Brandon Tripp. He hands the ball off to Ryan Bagley, who's got over 600 yards so far this season. Griffins have some injuries, though. Justin Elway is out, McDaniel's out, Gabe Doby is questionable, and Rasheed Prescott is out. So they are a little bit banged up, but nevertheless, unless they have that letdown, Fritz, which I don't think they will, they ought to win this football game tonight.
Well, when you look at injuries last week against Esperanza, Los Alamitos and Coach Barnes definitely overcame those injuries, and we really didn't see much play let down in that victory, 16-12. Now, on the other side of the ball, Fountain Valley at 3-4, you would say, how could they possibly be in the position tied for first place in Sunset League? And I guess you have to call this season a little bit of reversal of fortune.
Yeah, you certainly do, Fritz. It's been a weird year for Fountain Valley. They opened the year with losses to San Clemente, Mission Viejo, El Toro. Before they finally got on the board with a victory against Santa Ana Valley, they lost to Santa Margarita. So 4 of the best teams in Orange County, this club has lost to. They've come back with wins, like I said, against Santa Ana Valley, Edison, and Marina. They're looking for a playoff bid. The Sunset League is going to send 3, maybe 4 teams. The other thing Fountain Valley has going for him, Coach Eric Johnson is a former defensive coordinator at Modern Day. He's very, very well schooled on the Los Alamitos offense and what Coach John Barnes can bring. This is going to be an interesting game. Griffins need to avoid the letdown after last week's big win against Esperanza. And Len, for your information, Gabe Doby is starting tonight. He's in uniform with a big smile on his face. So I can report that to you right now from the sideline.
Well, Gabe Doby, probably one of the few players that was really heartbroken because he was questionable last week, will play tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, should have a good one. Again, the winner of tonight's game will walk out of here in first place in the Sunset League. We're going to take our seats upstairs. When we return, we'll have the Barons and the Griffins kickoff coming right up.
This edition of the LATV3's Game of the Week is brought to you by friends and family of the Los Alamitos Football Booster Club and by your friends at McKenna Motors, McKenna Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep at the Pomona Auto Center, McKenna BMW, Porsche, Audi, and Volkswagen at the Norwalk Auto Center, and McKenna Volkswagen and Isuzu on the Beach Boulevard Mile of Cars in Huntington Beach.
There are people with a calling. Most serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Earning money for college. Protecting their community. In the Army National Guard, you can.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good, oh, with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Find out what you can do. Contact Volunteers of America today.
Hank, you ever think about putting something away for the future?
What are you talking about?
United States savings bonds, Hank.
What do you know about United States savings bonds?
Actually, they're one of the safest investments you can make. You get competitive interest rates and up to a 30-year interest deferral from federal income tax. So, what do you think?
Well, I have to admit you were surprisingly persuasive.
United States savings bonds. Sign up through your company's payroll savings plan.
Shuey Field in Huntington Beach, site of Week 3 in the Sunset League. Fritz Pollard, Len Venger, and downstairs John Bowles. It's the Los Alamitos Griffins and the Fountain Valley Barons. Let's go downstairs for the coin toss.
Tails it is. Blue, you have won the toss. What would you like to do? You're welcome. Okay, which ball do you want to spin, guys? Take this way. Spin it around that way. Blue over here. Okay, Blue, you got it first half. Bring your teams out, guys. Good luck.
Well, that was short and sweet. Some of the time we'll see a very long dissertation on sportsmanship and everything else. These referees want to get things underway. So that it will be. Fountain Valley will get the ball to kick things off.
And a really good decision by Fountain Valley. Fritz, you and I have seen a couple of teams defer, and it's always backfired. Here you have your Sunset League standing so far, and you'll see that the winner of this game is going to take the lead in the Sunset League. Esperanza 1-1, but they figured a win out after this. And of course, let's not forget that Edison actually won last night and beat Marina. Esperanza beat Huntington Beach. Esperanza's 2-1 as a result. Edison 1-2. So those standings have already changed a little bit. But the winner of this game is in command of the Sunset League.
Well, and on the far side of the field, we have Coach Eric Johnson in his 4th season. We're taking a look there at the Fountain Valley Barons entering the field. Coach Johnson transferred from Modern Day, the defensive coordinator over there, wanted a head coaching position. He is 17-15-1. That's his record before the season. And Coach Johnson, again, as we talked about in the opening, a reversal of fortune, losing his first 4 games, coming back and posting wins in the last 3. But this is the most important one when you're looking at Sunset League. This is when it counts.
Oh, this is the biggest game of the season for Fountain Valley. If they win this game, they will have put themselves on the map and, frankly, in a pretty good position to make the playoffs in the Sunset League. That is the Division I playoffs. McDaniel not playing tonight. You see him there talking with Justin Elway. He is also out tonight, both in street clothes. Let me talk again, one more moment again, Fritz, about the fact that Fountain Valley won the toss, did not defer, decided to take the football. I think that's good football. I think that's a terrific idea. Right away, try and move the football, keep the Griffin defense on the field, and most importantly, keep the Griffin offense off the field.
Well, we've seen that a wise decision in the past. Back deep on the kickoff, number 1 is Ryan Best. He is on the far side. And we will have Mr. Gamarnik handling the kickoff duties for Los Alamitos. and we are underway. Ball is fielded, returned right up the middle, and that was Sean Baker handling the kickoff. So let's take a look at the offense for the Barons. Corey Andreessen, the quarterback, a senior. Sean Baker, the running back, and Toma Falafua, the wide receivers. Kachua, Gerard, the tight end is Mathis, and on the line, Miguel, Leopoldo, Coghill, Tukia, and Talavua.
Griffin special teams did a terrific job again, and they've got them pinned back. Not very good field position to start the game for Fountain Valley.
Man in motion is Kachua, and that's out to Gerard, and Gerard coming on the near side, ridden out of bounds.
Gerard, 6 foot, 141-pound junior wide receiver, and here's the defense that he is up against with Cherie, Filkins, Martinez, and Dolis on the line. Johnson, Flores, and Olmsted, the linebackers. Cason, Estes, Dykes, and Minter are back. Griffins tonight looks like they're going with 3 or 4 linebackers. Fritz, are you able to tell? 3 or 4 tonight? Looks like 3 tonight. 3 linebackers, 4 D-backs.
Andreessen under center. Hands to Baker. Baker goes straight up the middle and runs right into the heart of the Los Alamitos defense before he is pushed back. May have picked up 1 on the play.
Fountain Valley likes to mix it up, although they will run more than they'll pass. Against Los Alamitos, they'd love to have some ball control. That first pass that was complete to Kevin Gerard on the first down play was a very short, safe pass. That's the kind of thing that they like to do.
Ryan Best checks in for Fountain Valley. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 as we look over the shoulder of Coach John Barnes.
Passing situation here.
Andreessen back, has plenty of time, puts it up in the air, overthrows and almost intercepted by Randy Estes. We see a flag flying in there from the back judge. See what the call is.
If it's against Fountain Valley, Griffins will decline it, and there'll be a punt, but let's check the call.
Threw into heavy coverage there. That is a hold against the Griffins.
Wow. And that's going to give life to Fountain Valley. That'll be 5 yards and an automatic first down. Andreessen all day to throw the ball. Look at the excellent protection he's got. Overthrows his receiver, though. I did not see the hold, and it may be that the reason he overthrew is the receiver might have been the one held.
Well, Mathis was the intended receiver, so a fresh set of downs for Andreessen. Making some adjustments on the line there. Falafua moves up. He's the fullback. They're going to give it to the fullback. And I'll tell you what, this is a young man who gets the tough yards. 4 carries, 11 yards on the season, 2.3 average. And I'll bet you those are short yardage scenarios. And Falafua having some problems with the equipment.
Nevertheless, a good gain of nearly 6 yards on that play. I had called that penalty at only 5 yards, by the way, against Los Al. It was, in fact, a 10-yard penalty and took the ball out over the 35-yard line.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 as Andreessen takes a look at things. Handoff, that's going to go to Best. Best goes right up the gut.
Boy, was Best popped, and he's short of the first down. Made a little bit of yardage. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 or 3 yards to go. He was hit. Were you able to tell who hit him?
I didn't get a number on that. Checking in is Baker at the running back position. Coach Van Gorder there, defensive coordinator for the Griffins. So this will bring up a very important 3rd down and 2. Andreessen capitalized on a penalty during the passing down last series. Andreessen, flag flying. There may have been procedure there. Rolling out in the passes well above everyone. Intended receiver there was Kachua.
A couple of players on the Barons moved before that ball was snapped, Fritz. It's going to go against Fountain Valley, and the Griffins no doubt are going to decline. And as a result, there's going to be a punt. definitely motion there. Of course, it's 4th down, only a couple to go. Ball out not too far from midfield, but I'd be surprised if they didn't punt the football.
Well, a little early in the game to be rolling the dice. We are at 9:35 in the first quarter. You see it there, 4th down.
Fountain Valley has decided to punt. They're bringing in the punting team.
Well, and handling the punting for Fountain Valley is Mo Abdelmuti, 6 foot, 203-pound senior. 29-yard average, as long as 41 as he lets it rip and gets a nice punt off as Tripp has to back up to his own 15-yard line. Tripp gets across the 30 and hurdles the trash can there. Track season just around the corner.
And
we'll have to keep that in mind.
And Brandon Tripp could do the high hurdles as the Griffins start in reasonable field position out at their own 30-yard line.
So not a bad punt by Mo Abdelmuti, but a nice return there by Tripp. Let's take a look at the offense for the Griffins. You got Klein, the lone setback, Bagley. We'll catch that in a moment as we go back to play here.
Klein has done a great job at quarterback for this powerful offense, averaging 31 a game.
From the gun, they're going to go screen pass on the outside, and Childs is off to the races, one man to beat, and he is tripped down there.
Ryan Best got him and knocked him out, but not before Childs made a terrific gain down the field, outran a lot of people, and gets all the way inside the 40-yard line of the Fountain Valley Barons. Shotgun formation, as you see here on the replay. Ball over to Klein. This is just that little pass in the flat, almost behind the line of scrimmage, and look at a nice move there by Childs getting away from 3 people, and look at this excellent tackle by Best.
Well, touchdown saving tackle. Now Los Alamitos threatening on the second play of the game, and that is a little too tall for Childs. Childs, a 6 foot, 175-pound sophomore, and this guy's putting up some big numbers. 39 catches prior to tonight's game, 657 yards.
Excellent. KCK on the coverage.
Let's go ahead and finish off that offense. You've got Tripp and Montoya, the wideouts, Child, the other wideout, and Mandis finishes out that receiving core, and then the line, Rowland, Steinhauser, McDaniel, and Cluey, and nice tackle there on Bagley.
Oh.
In on the stop is number 46, Johnny Curran.
And that was a stop. Ryan Bagley going absolutely nowhere.
Okay, on that front line, Toma Falafua, Eric Leopoldo, and Leo Talavu. They're the defensive line, the linebacking core, Best, Fano, and Baker. Linebacker also Curran. In the corners, Filer and KCK. The safeties is Brian Ream and Gerard. So that rounds out the backfield of the defense for Fountain Valley, and they will be tested tonight.
3rd and 10. Griffin's going to have to throw the ball.
Pass is complete to Childs, so this drive has been all about Jeremy Childs. On the season, 7 TDs, a 17-yard average per catch.
Childs down the field, cut in, found a hole in the zone. Perfect throw by Jeff Klein. He's been accurate all year long. And the Griffins with a first down at the 20-yard line of the Fountain Valley Barons.
Jeremy Childs leading the Sunset League in receiving. They're going to give that one to Bagley. Bagley goes off tackle, well into the secondary, still on his feet. Touchdown, Los Alamitos. Ryan Bagley. That represents his 5th of the season.
Great job of sealing everybody in. Bagley able to go just off tackle. Made an excellent spin to get away from somebody. Watch the spin that he'll make. Also, watch the hole on the left side. Great job. Now watch the spin. Right there is a nice spin by Bagley to get away easily into the end zone. Griffins take the lead.
Gamarnik out for the kick. Big rush, but that is good. So Los Alamitos jumps out to an early lead, 7-0 with 8:02 left in the first quarter. Los Alamitos moving down the field, almost untested, Len Venger.
Good job there, by the way, on the hold by Jeff Klein. It was not a good snap, made a good hold. Gamarnik able to get it through, and the Griffins, as they have done so often this year, Fritz, First drive, a touchdown.
Ryan Bagley, before tonight's contest, 96 carries, 601 yards, 4 touchdowns. That makes 5, averaging 6.3 yards per carry, and showing some nice elusive moves there as he goes in for the touchdown. And boy, what a game he had last week against Esperanza.
And I'll tell you, this is exactly what Coach Johnson didn't want, to get behind early 7-0, and his team already playing catch-up with only 4 minutes gone here in the first quarter of this football game.
So standing on their 5-yard line is number 1, Ryan Best. Gamarnik with the kick. Best is going to take this one right on the end zone line, and he must have stepped back in. That will be called down, and the ball will move out to the 20-yard line. KCK also back for Fountain Valley.
And no chance of a run back. So again, the Barons start at here at their 20. So 2 in a row, 2 kickoffs, and Fountain Valley not in good field position either time.
So Andreessen with his second possession in this first quarter, a 6-foot, 165-pound senior. 40% completion ratio, 511 yards before tonight's game. 5 TDs, yet the number that jumps out at you is 5 interceptions. So for Fountain Valley, mistakes could be costly tonight. The fake going back to the air, that is complete on the far side. Sean Baker there. Sean Baker normally handling the running duties, but on the season has had a touchdown in the air, and that represents his 8th completion of the year for about 85 yards.
18 yards on that play. Excellent call, excellent pass to the sideline. And just like that, Fountain Valley gets out of the hole, and they're out at the 38-yard line.
Andreessen, 1st and 10. That's a handoff straight up the middle.
That's Brian Ream, I think. Ream, another one of those guys who does some running for this team, 5'9", 170-pound sophomore. And Ream does a very good job and gets 5 yards on that play. Griffin's talking about it. I don't know what Coach could be saying to the offense there other than keep it up. You guys are doing great.
Well, it's probably going to be a pretty short chalk talk there. So 2nd down and 5 for Andreessen. Man in motion is Kachua. Andreessen going to go back to the air. Heavy rush on by the Griffins. That is complete. Baker's ridden down there by number 21, Kason.
Nice job there, not only by Andreessen, but by Sean Baker. Baker waits till the area clears out. He goes out into the left flat, and look how wide open he is. 2 people move inside. He goes into the flat out there. There is nobody there. Baker gets the ball, makes several yards before finally encountering a couple of Griffins, but another first down for Fountain Valley. They're moving the football, Fritz.
Flory's also in on the stop there. They're going to give that one straight up the middle. That goes to Ream.
Another good game.
Yeah, nice drive here put together by Andreessen and Eric Johnson calling some great plays. They're going more to the air now, almost reminiscent of what Los Al does to open up those running lanes.
Absolutely, and showing good balance, and that play good for 6 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 4, and they've already had a 39-yard drive so far.
So there you have it, 6:22 here in the first quarter. This 165-pound senior. Andreessen going back to the air again. He's going to keep this one head up the middle. Ridden down there by number 97, Eric Jark for Los Alamitos.
Andreessen went back. It looked like he was looking for Cameron Mathis, his tight end, out in the right flat, but Mathis was well covered, and Andreessen simply tucked it away and ran it, able to make a couple of yards. As a result, it's going to be 3rd and a very short 2 yards for the first down.
The offensive line of Fountain Valley doing a pretty good job protecting Andreessen. You've got McHale, 192-pound junior, Leo Pondo, 240-pound senior. That's going to be a give right up the middle. That is Ream.
Ream again, and he's got the first down, Fritz, and they are inside or right at the 35-yard line of Los Alamitos. This possession, they have moved the ball out for 45 yards, and they've done it in the air and on the ground. Good balanced attack.
So Fountain Valley, who had struggled early in the season, lost their first 4 games, came back and won the last 3, and I think we're seeing an example of what the last 3 weeks look like, Lynn Venger. This is a nice little drive. Going back to the air, big-time rush by Los Alamitos and thrown down in the grasp of number 98, Michael Lee, the 222-pound senior.
And Andreessen never has a chance here. Watch the play action. Here's the fake handoff. Michael Lee does not bite. He goes right up the pipe, and no chance for Andreessen at all. A huge sack, and that is a loss of almost 10 yards.
Well, and I was just commenting on how well the offensive line had been protecting Andreessen, and maybe I spoke too soon. So this will bring down a huge 2nd down and 20. And so far, a wonderful drive for Fountain Valley, but they are in a hole now. Good protection. They get the ball out to Ream, and Ream is hammered down by Flores.
Got a penalty marker, Fred. Check the call.
Now that's in the area of holding, so let's see where the call comes down as the referees are sorting things out.
I think Los Al will decline this hold. Oh, wait, it's against Los Alamitos, Fritz.
Did you see the call?
I did not. We spoke too soon. They just ran off a whole bunch of yardage. And I still didn't see the call.
Well, we'll try to get you the call here momentarily.
Roughing the passer.
So the pressure coming against Andreessen, a little too much. Los Alamitos a little late in their hit.
And that gives them a first down. So that's a huge penalty against the Griffins.
3:50 left here in the first quarter, and that is complete to the wide receiver, Gerard. And Gerard still on his feet, loses the ball.
Griffins have it.
Up. And this could be all the way to the end zone. Number 21, Antoine Cason, one man to beat.
Ream's got him. Oh, my.
I'm wondering if Cason even knew that Ream was coming back door. Wow. What a return and what a touchdown-saving tackle by Brian Ream.
Antoine Cason, the defensive back, able to pick up the fumble, and Ream somehow runs him down. Great play on both sides. Straight drop back. Straight drop back here by Andreessen. Here's the throw. Good catch and an excellent job of getting away by Gerard, but then he fumbles. Watch Cason, picks up the ball. It looks like he's going to go all the way. There's nobody there. And watch the angle and the speed right there of Reams, who catches him. What a job by Ream not to give up the touchdown.
Back to the action. Bagley straight up the middle. Second touchdown of the game for Ryan Bagley. So before you know it, a turnover turns into a touchdown. Mistakes takes you out of the game quicker than anything. The fumble there by Gerard. Los Alamitos capitalizes, and this is nearly a 14-point game with 3:26 left in the first quarter, and I say nearly a 14-point game. We are awaiting the kickoff, or the PAT, by Gamarnik. Out of the hold of Klein. Ball down, and that is blocked.
Good. Wow.
So I spoke too soon.
Gamarnik misses the extra point. Very rare event. He has been terrific all year long with 26 out of 27. So he finally misses his second extra point of the season.
And on this, 96% was his percentage coming into tonight's contest. He has been almost perfect. In fact, 5 for 5 in field goals, so this is very uncharacteristic of Gamarnik. And we'll see how that plays as the game continues on.
Oh, just a huge play in this game with the fumble and Cason running it back 65 yards, and then Bagley, the 10-yard run. We just had a 13-point switch in this game. Fountain Valley was moving the football. They had a first down. They completed it to Gerard. He got all the way down to the 25-yard line, and then he fumbled the ball. An enormous break for Los Alamitos, heartbreaking for the Barons. The question is, Fritz, can they maintain their poise and come back from that kind of a setback?
Back for Fountain Valley is Ryan Best and Casey K. Casey K is going to take it. He's going to go far side. Eludes a few tackles before he's taken down. Decent return, taken down there by number 52, Lindbarger. So, Fountain Valley will get the ball back, and moving the ball very well last series, yet put the ball on the ground. Gerard trying to pick up extra yardage, just got loose with the ball. So 13-0, 1st and 10. And Mr. Andreessen gets another shot at it, his third offensive series of this first quarter, 3:19 left in the first quarter. Big time hit. Now that was snapped to number 21, Filer.
Kyle Filer is the other quarterback. He likes to run the football, and Filer on his first play out of quarterback got hit hard, and as you can see, he is definitely hurt, and now he's actually down. He got absolutely clobbered on that run. When Filer comes in, the Barons like to run. They like to run with Filer. When Andreessen is in, it's much more balanced. Let's see if we can see what happened on this play to Filer. Looked like he faked the option. He's hit, and looked like he caught the Griffin's right knee might have gotten into Filer, and he remains down on the field.
Yeah, he got twisted back on that, and that is sometimes a position in which the knee is just not meant to go. Well, so too bad. Filer checks in for his first play at quarterback and may be checking out. Let's hope that it is not too serious.
But he definitely won't be playing the next play no matter what. I doubt we'll see him again in this series for Fountain Valley. This is really a gut check drive for Fountain Valley. By the way, Filer actually made a couple of yards on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 8, but it is a gut check time because they were just crushed by that Griffin score. Well, late in the first quarter.
And Eric Johnson kind of creating new wrinkles. We saw the first series, kept the ball primarily on the ground. The second series, he went to the air on first down and tried to mix things up. Now he's swapping out the quarterback. Now the question is, Corey Andreessen was doing a good job on that prior series. I'm wondering why they felt like they needed the adjustment, unless it was just to throw a wrinkle in. I wanted to make one adjustment and correct something I stated. Eric Johnson, prior to this season, was 17, 15, and 1. To date, he is at 20, 19, and 1 is his overall record. I want to just clarify that as we sit here in week 3 of Sunset League play.
Actually, you did say it right. I remember distinctly. You said 17, 15, and 1 going into this season. So that's right. At 3 and 4, they would be 20, 19, and 1. And if they're not careful, pretty soon in this game, it's going to be 20, 20, and 1 for Coach Johnson.
Well, keep in mind we've got 13 points for the Griffins, and we are still in the first quarter. So for Fountain Valley, this is their time. Andreessen back in, throws across the middle into heavy traffic. Johnson takes down the receiver there, and that is number 5, Kachua, with the reception.
And I think they are just short of the first down. Let's check the call. Referee's going to measure. It's pretty close. And I can tell you from our vantage point, Fritz, that we absolutely have no idea whether he made the first down or not.
Well, welcome to high school press boxes as you see Coach John Barnes in his 24th season. And the key storyline on Barnes tonight, he is tied with Dick Hill at 212 victories for the most victories in Orange County. A win tonight puts him ahead in Orange County, and we are merely inches away third down, Fountain Valley so desperately needing to keep this drive alive.
And as Coach Barnes will be the first to tell you, while it's a milestone that someday he'll look back on, the fact is right now he's just interested in a win. He's interested in the Sunset League Championship and a really good seed in the Division I playoffs.
So here we are in the first quarter, already commenting on an important possession as Andreessen steps in. Single back set.
He's got it. Andreessen on the quarterback sneak. No question, he's got it. Good job by the offensive line of the Barons. Got a good push there. Andreessen made a couple of yards even, and they've got an easy first down.
Well, let's look at that offensive line. Number 51, Ryan McHale, 192-pound junior. Number 56, Eric Leopondo, 240-pound senior. The center is Coghill at 260. And then Tukia at 321.
And look at the next guy.
Talavu at 300.
Well, he's a little guy, huh?
He's the little guy. The junior. So a lot of girth on that right side. Andreessen going to put it back in the air. That is complete to Kachua. And Andreessen very impressive when he goes to the air. Not going deep, but deep enough to move the chains.
I think that's pretty smart of Fountain Valley to get those short, safe passes as he's been doing and keep ball control, keep moving, keep the clock running to keep the Griffin offense off the field.
Well, Los Alamitos has been very tough against the run, although they have given up some yardage. If you go back to Huntington Beach against Harrigan, of course, a 300-plus yard game in that contest, but Los Alamitos has been very good against the run. Example last week as this one goes to number 6, Ream. Last week, Los Alamitos did very well against Wildenstein, a standout running back for Esperanza.
And it's got first down. Ream made the first down, and they've moved the ball out to their own 45-yard line. And again, keeping this possession alive as we are down to about 45 seconds in the first quarter.
The Barons on the season have put up 127 points so far, yet they've given up 175 points. So maybe gives you some perspective on that 3-4 record. Going to pitch it out. Andreessen coming to the near side is Ream.
And Ream, good job of pursuit by the Griffins. They picked up on that play early. Ream lost about 3 yards or a couple of yards on that play.
Eric Johnson there discussing it with his offensive coordinator. I'll tell you, Eric Johnson moves from Mater Dei 4 years ago, a program in which winning was just a way of life. And I talked with Johnson over the years as he's taking on the added responsibilities of the head coach position, meaning the booster club and the banquet and all these extra things that he didn't have to deal with. So welcome to head coaching. He survived 4 years, and that's across the middle and intercepted by Brandon Tripp. Tripp still on his feet, and he is headed towards the end zone. So mistake number 2 for Andreessen. And I guess you would say Andreessen, this is his mistake with the interception. The last one was a fumble. So Fountain Valley in a deep hole on 2 turnovers. Los Alamitos capitalizing.
Okay, Andreessen this time not such a safe pass. Throws it up the middle, and it is excellent coverage there by Tripp. That was just a bad decision there by Andreessen. Tripp's got it, goes down the right sideline. Here's the cutback, and that missed tackle by 41 is what gets him loose, and he goes all the way into the end zone. Griffins with a 19-0 lead, and something happened out there, Fritz. I have no idea what happened.
Well, Klein has the ball, so we at least know the snap was back, but that is against Fountain Valley, so that is offsides against the Barons. The intended receiver before the interception was Mathis. Brandon Tripp just stepped in front of him, and that will now be the 6th interception for Andreessen on the season, and all of these very costly.
Okay, and the Griffins now with the ball at the 1.5-yard line, and having missed last time, they're going to go for 2.
Well,
I formation.
Not a bad choice. Might as well pick up that missed PAT, and Bagley goes right into the center of the line and will be short.
He did not make it, and Griffins take a little bit of a gamble. They've now, in effect, missed it twice after the touchdowns. They lead, however, 19-0 with 2 seconds left in the first quarter.
So Los Alamitos misfiring on the extra point try, which has been a 96% guarantee all year. Kevin Gamarnik coming into tonight's contest, 26 of 27. Missed on the last touchdown. Los Alamitos electing to go for 2, and Brandon Tripp with the interception.
And he's a happy young man. Always like to get those defensive touchdowns. And we had the fumble recovery by Cason. We had the interception by Tripp run all the way. 2 huge turnovers suffered by Fountain Valley. They're in a deep hole, down 19-0.
To go back to that fumble recovery, Anton Cason had 3 interceptions before tonight's game. So he has been very productive in the cornerback position, the 168-pound junior. So the DBs tonight getting it done on defense. And there you have it. Fountain Valley will get the ball again, and that sails into the end zone. Best and Kay unable to return it. So a lot of activity for Fountain Valley down at the south end of the field, and I can tell you this field is showing its wear here in week 8.
And you can see there on the screen, almost looks like a baseball infield over there. The field is in terrible condition down there, and we noticed it before the game, and it's getting chewed up even more here tonight. Right there in the center of the field, it's beat up, and it's even beat up over on the sides.
Well, Fountain Valley will have another shot at it. Corey Andreessen steps in after his interception that was run back.
This will be the last play of the first quarter, Fritz.
Kachua, man in motion. And that is to number 22, Baker. Baker is caught in the backfield and thrown back for a loss. So as the first quarter comes to an end, Los Alamitos with a comfortable lead, 19-0 over the Fountain Valley Barons. And for Fountain Valley, needless to say, they need to put some points on the board quickly, or this thing is going to be over early in the second quarter. Let's go ahead and take a look at the CIF top 10. And there you see it. We haven't had a tremendous amount of movement, although we had some upsets 5 through 10 last week, but Long Beach Poly comfortably ahead, even though they had their lunch handed to them with De La Salle. Los Alamitos number 2. You've got Servite that's moved up, Mater Dei. Esperanza moves down a few in their loss last week. St. John Bosco, I think the surprise, I believe they started in the 10 spot and have been moving up each week.
And you can see the whole Sarah League is in the top 10, but it's those big 2, Long Beach Poly, Los Alamitos, and if they both win out, that's the same seeding you're going to see in the Division I playoffs.
Well, and if anything could be learned in the domination that De La Salle put on Poly, that might help some of these other coaches who have to face Long Beach Poly. Brian Ream takes that straight up the middle.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that Coach Barnes is mindful of, Fritz, is this is his 9th year in Division I. In the first 8 years in Division I, the Griffins have reached the semifinals of the playoffs 5 times. They have lost all 5. Boy, they'd like to change that this year.
No kidding. Lots of football yet to be played, though, in this Sunset League. And Fountain Valley at 3rd and 9, 19 points down, and we are still early in the second quarter. Andreessen, Los Alamitos moves on the far side. I believe that was Dolis. Number 88, Dolis, 6'2", 203-pound junior, has a sack already on the season. We were talking about the field earlier, showing its signs of wear. We have a few teams that are playing here. Huntington Beach, Edison will sometimes play here, so this field does see a lot of activity. I've got a little grass seed in the garage, Lynn. We might want to come out here tomorrow and throw it down.
I don't think they'd mind so much.
Another running play there, number 22, Baker, runs right into Michael Lee of Los Alamitos. Looks like about 3 yards to go for the first down. Call it 4th down and 2.
And let's see what they're going to punt the ball away. Not going to take any chances here.
Brandon Tripp steps back for Los Alamitos, and Mo Abdelmuti, the 6-foot, 203-pound senior, going to punt it away. Heavy rush by the Griffins, barely gets it away, and Tripp watches this one go, takes a barren bounce. Ball hit at about the 39-yard line and then rolled another 10 yards.
Griffins taking over at about their own 32. Good decision by Brandon Tripp to stay away from that. Doesn't want to take a chance on a fumble. And even though there was a big rush there against Abdelmuti, the fact is that there was pretty good coverage downfield by the Fountain Valley Barons. Good special teams work by Fountain Valley. Griffins get the ball, though.
So jogging onto the field is Jeff Klein, 190-pound senior, having a fabulous year. 983 yards before tonight's game, 70% completion ratio.
Wow.
And he shared the spotlight as he's going to keep this one. Gets wrapped up there, may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And in on the stop is Sean Baker.
That play has really worked all year for Los Al, but not there, where Klein keeps the ball on the bootleg. In effect, great faking, and yet he goes around the right end. Only this time there was nothing there.
On the defensive side of the ball, when I talked with Coach Johnson, he said we've got a young team, and a lot of that youth is on defense. 5 seniors, 4 juniors, and 2 sophomores starting tonight's game. So this defense, we're going to be calling these names for a while, but tonight they're finding their hands full, as that is out to number 86, Bradley Mandis.
But not much there for Mandis. 3 Fountain Valley Barons were out there with him, able to bring him down, and it's going to be 3rd and still about 10 yards to go for the Griffins. Fountain Valley defense starting to stiffen a little bit here as Jeff Klein gets the play from the sideline. He himself brings it in. Definite passing down for the Griffins.
So for Los Alamitos,
447,
Klein back to pass, going to get it out to Childs straight up the middle, and Childs holding that ball out like a loaf of bread. Lucky to have come down with that. I'm sure he was trying to get the ball across the 4th down marker, or correction, they're going to mark this about 1.5 yards short, so we'll call it 4th and a long one. So Childs putting the ball out there.
Griffins are going to kick the football away, though.
Well, no need to get fancy right now. Dolis will come in to handle the punting duties for the Griffins.
With the 19-0 lead, I agree with you. No reason for the Griffins to take any big gambles. Little inside screen there, by the way, to Jeremy Childs. Not quite able to get the yardage he needed, although he stretched for it.
Kevin Gerard back, and this will push him back to the 20-yard line. And Gerard, who fumbled the ball early in the first quarter, gets a small return of about 8 yards. So Fountain Valley with their best defensive stand. Los Alamitos unable to put any points on the board, and based on what we've seen in the first quarter, that is a successful defensive stand for the Barons.
Let's see if their offense can get a little momentum as a result of the defense holding and move the football. They're not out of the game yet, even though they're down 19-0. It is their own offensive mistakes that have gotten them into trouble here. But if they can have a drive here, go all the way downfield, take a lot of clock, score, maybe be down 19-7, they'd still be in the game.
Well, I think right now, if you're Coach Eric Johnson, all you need to do is not focus on getting 19 points. It's focusing on getting something on the board.
Exactly right. I'll delay a game there. They just took all day. I don't know what they were thinking, but that's definitely delay against Fountain Valley.
So just when Andreessen needed to keep the momentum going, the delay of game penalty marches them back, and so that will quickly bring up first down and 15. Referees start the clock, or at least whistle play to begin from the gun. Andreessen, plenty of time, throws this one up. This looks like it could be dangerous. And when you look at number 24, Estes flying in on that, that easily could have been picked off.
And Minter was right there with him, and they both had a better shot at the ball than the Fountain Valley Baron did. And as a result, I think Fountain Valley lucky that that was just an incomplete pass.
Kachua, the intended receiver for the Barons. So what was first and 15 and a dangerous pass into double coverage now brings up second down and 15. And Andreessen needing to get something done, and now we've got a flag here before Andreessen even could get under center. And so the penalty's beginning to mount. Illegal substitution, the call.
And that's just a careless kind of penalty. No excuse for that. And now a timeout called by Fountain Valley. Boy, that's just not the way to get your momentum back. Two silly penalties, almost a loss of composure in the final analysis. Eric Johnson, I think, may be making the right decision to call a timeout. Say, come on, fellas, let's just relax here and get going. They need a drive.
Sitting here with 7:42 left in the first half, and we'll go ahead and take a look around the Sunset League and look at how the quarterbacks are doing so far this year.
Grady of Edison has got the lead now in passing with 1,465 yards. Talo of Esperanza right behind him. Jeff Klein is third, but take a look at who's sixth. That's Justin Elway, also of Los Alamitos. You add their yardage together, and they're up at 1,400 yards and just behind Grady. The only team, of course, there with two quarterbacks. Brennan Andreessen, you saw, also one of the top throwing quarterbacks in the Sunset League.
And short of just one turnover and a fumble, he's done pretty well tonight. It's just these penalties and turnovers have come at very inopportune times, and now they find themselves in the 19-0 hole.
And in fact, both the turnovers run back for huge yardage.
So Andreessen fakes the handoff, going to go back over the middle, and a nice catch there by Fountain Valley.
Gerard able to get that ball in pretty heavy traffic and brought it in before he was hit. Excellent throw, excellent catch by Gerard. Held on to the football, first down, Fountain Valley. Nice looking play. Andreessen, a little play action, goes back, gets rushed pretty well there, makes a very nice throw. Look at Andreessen right in the middle of that zone, holds on to the football, brought down, first down.
Greg Johnson in on the tackle. First and 10. Andreessen going to give it, keep it on the ground. That'll be to Best.
Good gain, Best. Out over the 45-yard line. Made 5 or 6 yards on that play. Looks like 6.
So we've seen this before, especially in the first quarter. Nice little drives, mixing up that run and pass. Yet it has been the turnovers, and this is about where we've seen the Fountain Valley Barons self-destruct. Let's see if they can keep this drive alive. It would help them tremendously to be able to put 7 points on the board this early here at almost the midway point of the second quarter. Andreessen going to give it to Baker. Baker on the far side, then cuts it back in, and he is taken down again by Gregory Johnson.
Just short of the first down. They've got a yard to go, third down. I almost consider this 4-down territory, Fritz. The ball out almost at the 50. I don't think they're going to hand Los Al the ball if they can avoid it. I think they'll go 2 downs to get this 1 yard.
Well, and don't forget they've got their big fullback, Toma Falafua, At 200 pounds, who do they give it to?
Oh, they gave it to Ream, and he is brought down for a loss. And that may change things a little bit now. Now, if they try to go for it on 4th down, they've got 2 yards to go, and they immediately bring the punt team in. So, looks like they're going to give up the football.
Mo Abdelmuti. Brandon Tripp will be back for the Griffins.
Not a bad time for a fake since the ball's out near the 50. Griffins should watch for the fake just in case.
High snap, and Los Alamitos bringing the heat. Takes another Fountain Valley bounce, and Tripp's just going to watch this one roll down to the 20-yard line.
Good rush over there on Fountain Valley. Griffin's going after the football. Abdelmuti, I think they think takes quite a bit of time before he punts. They haven't got one yet, but they may yet tonight.
Heavy rush on that last play by Michael Lee prior to the punt. So the Los Alamitos front 4 starting to put some nice pressure on Andreessen and plugging those holes right up the middle. So Klein will step in. First down and 10, 5:19 left in the first half, and they're going to give it to Bagley. Bagley finding a hole up the middle, spins around, and he is still on his feet. Nice play by Bagley, and we saw so much of that last week. Boy, what a great spin move to stay on his feet and making people miss.
There's a lot of talk now in football, and you're going to see Ryan Bagley with an excellent spin. Great job by the offensive line. Big hole. There's the spin that gets him away, and he pushes hard, shows good power downfield, and you know what? That play is going to be called back because of a penalty against the Griffins.
Well, all of that goes for naught. Holding called as Coach Barnes there is talking to the side judge.
He's not very happy about that. I was going to say, Fritz, in football now there is a lot of talk about the spin move coming back into football. A lot of running backs are spinning more than ever, more than in the past 10 years or so. And the fact is, it's working. And it really is helping these guys break tackles and get away from people trying to grasp them. And Bagley doing an excellent job all year long with the spin move.
Well, that'll bring up a 1st and 20, and there's probably going to be some spin moves before we see the first down here. Ryan Bagley picks up some of those 20 yards. Ryan Bagley last week against Esperanza literally ran to the point where he was being substituted out in the 4th quarter. Randy Estes came in. But I'll tell you what, Ryan Bagley went up against a very tough defensive front 4 in Esperanza and put on a show. And congratulations, already 2 touchdowns tonight. That makes 6 on the season on the ground for Ryan Bagley, the 173-pound senior. As Klein changes the play, he's going to go to the air. Oh, and almost picked off. The intended receiver there was Bradley Mandis.
You're right, that was almost picked off, and that would have been disaster for Los Alamitos. Klein having a chat with his receivers on that play.
Johnny Curran almost had the interception as Coach Barnes more or less saying, Klein, what did you see? What were you thinking? But Los Alamitos will live to throw again. 3rd down, 13. We're at 4:11 in the first half. It's been all Los Al. Trips on the near side. They're going to go Bagley again. Bagley bouncing the outside, strung out, but wrapped up there by Fountain Valley. Nice play.
And Fountain Valley Barons have held again, and the Griffin offense has been slowed down the last couple of possessions, and they're going to have to give up the football again.
So Fountain Valley will have another shot at putting some points on the board. Back for Fountain Valley is Kevin Gerard, the 160-pound junior, and Dolis, also a junior, will let it fly. This should be fairly good field position for Gerard as he stands on his own 45-yard line. Will actually let this one roll, takes a Griffin bounce, get out to the 37-yard line where Fountain Valley will set up shop.
So pretty good field position for Fountain Valley. 3:22 left in the first half. And boy, if they could just get one last drive here to end the first half with a score, they definitely could get the momentum and get back into the football game.
The best starting field position of the night for the Barons. Let's see what they can do with it. Dreesen brings him to the line. Toma Falafua, the big fullback, 200 pounds. Number 1 is Best. Best sidestepping. They're going to go to the air. Andreessen has time. They get it to Falafua. And Falafua, who only had 3 catches before tonight for 23 yards.
Nice play there as they put the tailback in motion, leaving only Falafua back there. Looked like he was going to block for the pass, slipped off the block, went into the flat, able to get the ball and gain about 6 yards on the play.
Averaging 7.7 yards in the air. Falafua, definitely the short yardage guy. Brings up a 2nd down and 4. They're going to go from the I formation. They fake the handoff, get it out across the middle,
Kachua.
and that is complete to Kachua.
And Kachua out to the 40-yard line of Los Alamitos. And he had a couple of guys open there, again, including Falafua was open, but he saw downfield. Juan Kachua was definitely wide open, got him at the Griffin 40-yard line. Fountain Valley now on a little bit of a roll. They've got the momentum back, and boy, did they need a score here to end the first half.
Checking in is Best. Falafua in the backfield. They're going to go pass again. Oh, and that's just off the fingertips of Kachua.
A lot of pressure there on Andreessen. Had to make a quick throw to Kachua. Kachua tried to dive to make the catch. Couldn't do it. 2nd and 10.
Kachua has 1 touchdown on the season. An 18-yard average per completion prior to tonight.
Good time for a draw play, Fritz. Griffins will be looking pass. And a timeout called by Fountain Valley.
Well, and something appears to be wrong with Kachua's helmet, maybe the snap. He actually ran by the head referee there. And they stopped play, so that an official's timeout.
So they're not going to charge him with the timeout there.
Running backs are split. Falafua. They're going to get it out to Falafua. Falafua cuts inside, taken down by Flores.
Good cut there by Falafua to get away from Greg Johnson, the terrific linebacker of the Los Alamitos Griffins. He made a good cut there and able to gain some yardage. As a result, it's going to be 3rd and 5, and there's no question, Fritz, that they're in 4-down territory now, especially with the clock running at 1:45 and counting.
Their deepest drive of the game into Griffin territory, needing to capitalize. Andreessen going to go back to the air, going all the way downfield, and that is just knocked away by Brandon Tripp. The intended receiver there.
I think Mike Musso, is that 47? It is. Mike Musso is a wide receiver, not quite able to come up with that football. He had his hands on it, Fritz. It would have been a tough catch, but you could argue he should have gotten it. They went way downfield on 3rd and 5 instead of trying to get it in 4 downs. Now they're in 4th and 5. They're going to go for it. Makes it a little bit tougher play.
So Eric Johnson rolling the dice. There you see Barry Shear, the defensive coordinator for the Griffins. Andreessen, heavy rush and taken down by Olmstead. Correction, that is, let me get you a number on that. Taken down by, is that Anderson? 88 Dolis, I'm sorry.
That's James Dolis, the punter, who actually made that play. No chance for Andreessen. There's the play action. It's a bootleg around left. He stumbled a little, wouldn't have mattered. No chance at all. Griffins everywhere on that play, almost like the Griffins were in the huddle.
Yes. Well, Michael Lee was forcing Andreessen towards James Dolis, and Klein back to action. Klein's going to air it out, has a man open,
Oh.
and diving, Mandis. Mandis had literally outrun all of the coverage, had a half step on everybody.
Just barely overthrown, maybe by half a yard. And the Griffins went for it all there on 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. And with a minute and a half to go, Griffins now have 2 downs more to get this first down. Let's see what they do.
James Dolis to get the ball back. That's his 2nd sack of the season. Get the ball back for the Griffins as Bagley gets wrapped up on the shoelaces.
Good job there, and a good tackle by Johnny Curran, the linebacker. No chance there for Bagley. Griffins now in a 3rd and 10. And the clock running, it'll be under 1 minute before this next play. Griffins would like to get one more score here before the end of the first half.
Well, and Len Venger, you got to look for the little shred of hope here for Fountain Valley. They hold here. This is the 3rd time they've kept Los Alamitos off the board.
And let's see. Oh, it's going to be a late hit against Fountain Valley by Gerard. A very foolish play by Gerard, because the Griffins are going to have the ball at the 45 and then are going to pick up another 15 yards on the personal foul. Big mistake. Klein back. Plenty of time here. Lets loose. Not much of a spiral there, but
Brandon Tripp.
Tripp, actually, I thought Tripp might have bobbled it, and he did bobble, but he held on, and there is Gerard with that late hit, because Tripp was already out of bounds, and as a result, the Griffins have the ball down at the 30-yard line with still 42 seconds left.
Well, and Bender, costly mistake if we've seen penalties so far tonight really working against Fountain Valley, and that is pass out to Childs.
And Fritz,
double coverage.
8 penalties in the first half so far that have been taken. There have been some penalties declined. We've had about 10 or 11 in the game.
Well, Los Alamitos sensing that they can put some more points on the board with 36 seconds left, and they may go and have 3 chances at the end zone.
And they've got plenty of timeouts, so they've got time to do this, no question about it.
Klein. Oh, and that should be a flag without question. And coming in is Casey K for Fountain Valley, and he just climbs all over Brandon Tripp. So another penalty will move the ball. Los Alamitos now with 29 seconds left, plenty of time, and penalties helping out.
That is the 5th against Fountain Valley that the Griffins have taken, and as a result, the ball at the 15-yard line. Griffins with plenty of timeouts, 29 seconds to go. They've got time to do this. Fountain Valley's going to have to make the stop, because otherwise the Griffins have the time.
So that'll bring up 1st and 10. Klein from the shotgun. Plenty of time in the pocket, and that is knocked away. Brandon Tripp was the intended receiver.
Play only took a few seconds, 24 seconds still to go. Griffins at 2nd down. They're already in field goal range. So if they don't get the TD, they can still go for the field goal on 4th down. As of right now, Fritz, only a 32-yard field goal if they don't get the score in the next couple of downs.
For the Barons, 32 seconds away from getting to the break. Klein gets it to Childs across the middle. Childs. Get down as Los Alamitos needs to preserve what time is on the clock. 14 seconds, and we have a timeout now. This Childs with a nice pickup right up the middle.
Now it's very close to the first down. The ball is right around the 5-yard line. They might be just short of the first down, but they called timeout. So the question, what do you do here? If it were me, Fritz, I'd run, try to get the first down, then call my timeout.
Well, there you see it. 14 ticks left in the first half. Los Alamitos on top, 19-0. A score here for Coach Barnes and the Griffins would put this game out of reach.
And so far, there's been no scoring in the second quarter. Fountain Valley has done a good job of defense, but they faltered, had the punt. Griffins got the ball and are able, as a result, to actually, they went for it on fourth down. I'm sorry. Fountain Valley went for it on fourth down, didn't make it.
Let's see if we can go in the huddle.
I can't wait. Let's cut your split down. We're going to go on 99, 95. All right? You sure don't like 98?
So there you have it. Coach Barnes.
What did he say?
It's all code. I mean, you know, we're not supposed to understand what he said, but let's see if the Griffins understood it.
I guarantee you they understood it.
Well, Coach Barnes, a veteran, 24 years, beats Esperanza last week to tie Dick Hill's number of 212 victories in Orange County. Looking to go ahead. Gonna go for the fade in the corner. Touchdown. Let's see.
Yes.
They're gonna call it. That went out to Bradley Mandis. So Mandis, the 6'1", 185-pound senior, climbs the ladder, pulls the fade out of the air into double coverage. Touchdown, Los Alamitos in this game, slipping away from the Barons.
Griffin's not going for the first down and calling a timeout. Instead, it's the fade into the end zone using Mandis' height. K on him. Great leap by Mandis. Got the football inbounds. And boy, Mandis able to use his 6'1" height over K.
And for Mr. Gamarnik, the extra point is good. So Los Alamitos extends the lead 26-0 over Fountain Valley. And at near the break, 8 seconds still remain. Los Alamitos will likely be starting the substitutions after we come back from the break. And you know, one of the articles that was in the paper this week, which was kind of shocking, is they said Los Alamitos really hasn't blown anyone out this year, which, you know, if you look back, maybe not, but, you know, they've played very strongly. And